What dairy goats should you add to your homestead? There are so many different kinds to choose from, and the perfect dairy goat for your farm or your homestead is going to be different from person to person and from situation to situation. Today, I'm going to talk about some of the most popular dairy goat breeds in America and give you the pros and cons of each, as well as my personal experience that I've had with any breed that I've had experience with. And if you have anything to add, please let me know in the comments. We would all love to hear your experience that you've had with any breed. If you saw one of my last videos, I did a video talking about the strangest goats from all over the world, and many people sent me messages asking about goats that they can actually get their hands on. There are a lot of goat breeds that can't come into the United States, but all of these ones listed in this video are going to be goats that are allowed in the US, and they shouldn't be that hard to find. The first one that I want to talk about are Alpine goats. Alpines are one of the most popular dairy goat breeds in America. They're known for their high milk production. An average Alpine goat can produce 1 to 2 gallons of milk per day with a butterfat content of about 3.5%. Personality, they're friendly, curious, outgoing. They're great for families and homesteads where interaction with animals is pretty frequent. As far as climate goes, these goats adapt well to a variety of climates, but they do better in cooler conditions due to their European mountain origins. Okay, so for Alpine goats, pros: high milk yield, they're adaptable to different climates, they're strong and hardy goats. Cons: they can be a little bit bossy in a mixed herd, and they may require more space than other goats due to their active nature. Number 2, Nubian goats. These are my favorite, by the way. Nubians are instantly recognizable with their long floppy ears and their Roman noses. By the way, go back and watch my other video to see more about these really weird goats, but you will never believe where they derived from. They produce rich milk with a butterfat content of 4 to 5%, making it ideal for cheese and soap making. But their daily milk yield is lower. It's about 1 to 1.5 gallons a day. Personality: Nubians are affectionate and vocal. If you're looking for a goat that will talk to you, this is your breed. If you're looking for a goat that will annoy your neighbors, this may also be your breed. Some Nubian goats are very loud and vocal. Climate: they do well in warmer climates. They may struggle in colder regions without proper shelter, but you should have proper shelter anyways. Pros: so they have high butterfat content in their milk, they're friendly and sociable, they're excellent for warm regions. Cons: lower milk yield compared to Alpines, and they can be loud, which may not be ideal for all settings. Personal experience: I do have personal experience with Nubians. The very first goat that I got was a Nubian goat. I actually got her at a sale barn. She was jumping up to see me. I just fell in love with her. I currently have Nubians and Nigerian Dwarfs, and I love Nubians so much more. They're calmer, they're easier to handle, they're so sweet, and I just fell in love right away with them. I'm thinking about eventually switching my herd to either fully Nubians or miniature Nubians, which would be Nigerian Dwarf Nubian mixes, because I love them so much. And their kids are super cute. Their ears are long and velvety and so soft. I just love them. Number 3, Saanen goats. Saanens are often referred to as the Holstein of goats because of their high milk production, which can exceed 2 gallons per day. Their milk has a lower butterfat content of around 2.5 to 3%. Personality: these goats are calm, gentle, easy to handle. They're great for beginners. Climate: they thrive in cooler climates, and they are going to need shade in hotter regions due to their white coats. Pros: they have high milk production. They're very docile and sweet. They're great for beginners. Cons: low butterfat content, and they're a little bit sensitive to intense heat. Number 4, Lamancha goats. Lamanchas are known for their tiny little elf ears or gopher ears, depending on the goat that you get. They are excellent milk producers, about 1 to 2 gallons of milk per day, with a butterfat content of 3.5 to 4.5%. Personality: Lamanchas are quiet, sweet, and adaptable. They tend to get along well with other animals. Climate: they do well in most climates, actually, provided they have proper shelter. Pros: high milk yield with good butterfat, They're quiet and easygoing. They have a unique appearance, which may be a pro or a con because some people find their lack of ears kind of strange. I know my boyfriend personally says that they look like people and they're kind of weird. Personal experience, I haven't had a ton of experience with Lamanchas. I had a set of mini Lamancha twins that were born to my Nigerian Dwarf doe. This should never be how it goes. By the way, the doe should always be the bigger goat, but I got her and she was already bred. Number 5, Nigerian Dwarf goats. You're going to see a ton of these around. They're probably the most popular in my area anyways. Nigerian Dwarfs are small but mighty when it comes to milk production. Despite their size, they can produce up to 1 quart to 1 gallon of milk per day with a high butterfat content of 6 to 10%. Personality, they're friendly, playful, great for children, making them ideal for families, but they can also fly. Any goat that I've had that can fly over 4-foot fences and bounce around and really, like, they are the true escape artists in my opinion and my experience. Climate, they adapt well to most climates. Pros, they have a high butterfat content. A lot of people prefer Nigerian Dwarfs because of their butterfat content. They're easier to handle due to their small size, especially if you have bucks. The bigger the buck, the bigger the punch they can give you. But of course, be careful around any buck. And they're great for small farms or urban homesteads. Cons, lower overall milk yield. That may or may not be a con, depending on how much milk you need. And they're really good escape artists. Personal experience, I think Nigerian Dwarfs are amazing goats, and because they're one of the most popular breed of goat, they're really easy to find and not as expensive as some of the other goats, at least in my area. However, they are a bit harder to milk if you have bigger hands. I actually have child-size hands, and I prefer to milk my Nubians by hand over my Nigerian Dwarfs. And I have yet to find an affordable milker that will work on the Nigerian Dwarfs. I feel like any milker that I have gotten has not been ideal. Number 6, Toggenburg goats. Toggenburgs are one of the oldest known dairy breeds. They produce 1 to 2 gallons of milk per day with a butterfat content of 3.3%. As far as personality goes, they're curious and active. They can sometimes be a little bit more reserved than other breeds. Climate, they are well suited to cooler climates because they originated in the Swiss Alps. Pros, they're reliable milk producers, they're hardy in cold weather, and they have a long history of dependable breeding. Cons, their milk has a lower butterfat content. They may be less outgoing and less hey, let's be friends than some of the other breeds. So leave me a comment. Do you have goats? If so, which goats do you have? Which goats are you planning on getting? Let me know in the comments. And if you're ready to get a goat, you're going to be getting at least 2 because they need a buddy. And be sure to check out this video so that you can be a little bit more prepared. In this video, I'm going to talk about the things that you need to be prepared for. Their diet, medical issues to watch out for, and the most fun of it all, fencing for goats. Click this video and I will see you over there.